right, welcome back. Yes, this morning we will be discussing all you need to know about IVF. Now, when I say it's emotional, because I had a friend of mine, or I have a family friend of mine who has gone through this process 3 times. And it didn't work for her. And she's contemplating on going on the 4th one. And there are a lot of emotions, complications. When when you go through the process for 3 times and it's failed, then you would understand the sincerity and what we are discussing this morning. All you need to know about it, just in case you have a family friend or you hear people talk about it and you don't understand, so that you don't pass wrong information to people around you. This morning we have Dr. Abiodun here in our midst. He has been here once to talk about this show, and we are bringing him back again. Good morning, Doctor, for giving us your time.
Princess. Yeah, we're bringing him back actually because IVF was yes Sunday, the 25th of July.
25th of July.
And so it goes a long way to do a refresher and to have better knowledge and better understanding. Now, someone was discussing with me and was saying, okay, now IVF, I would have allowed my daughter to have done it when she was 30 because that was what, the girl wanted. And, it's like, I don't want everything. I just want a child. I want to be fulfilled. And the girl is now about 40 plus, mid-40s. And she's like, why did I make this child not to do it when she actually wanted to? Because she was going through many doctors and told her, it's becoming too late, it's becoming distant. And so she's becoming discouraged and feeling guilty that she didn't have, that opportunity with the child. So Doctor is so happy with this.
I want you to give us just a little intro of what World IVF Day is all about before we start our conversation this morning.
Well, World IVF, thank you very much for having me.
You're
doing a good job. You're doing a good job here. I always watch your show on daily basis.
Thank you.
World IVF Day is actually 25th of July every year worldwide, and it's to celebrate the first successful IVF that was done in the baby that was born in 1978.
Wow.
In England. Wow. That was the first.
That's
yeah. Prior to that time, there were animal research here and there. But in 1978, an IVF baby was actually born in England, Miss Brown, and she's also a gynecologist today. A lady. Yeah. So that's what is now celebrated all over the world, and of course to create awareness and to allay fears of people, for people to calm down, for more people to accept it rather than giving up, on having their babies.
Now, I love that. Rather than giving up, what is IVF and how does vitro fertilization work? Because people really need to understand what IVF is all about.
So IVF simply means in vitro fertilization. In vitro means in the tube. So that's why popularly they call it a test tube baby. Because we actually collect the egg, collect the sperm, and fertilize the two of them together in the laboratory. So it's actually in the petri dish, so they call it tube anyway. So that's how the name came about. And it's an assisted way, of reproduction. So for people that are desiring to have their babies and it's getting too late, or for one reason or the other, for medical issues, they couldn't have it. So it's a way of assisting such families to complete their family.
A way of assisting such families to complete their family.
Okay, now I wanted to ask what are the basic steps involved in the process? For you just said collection of, I believe that's the basic step, right? So what we do in IVF Center is expert in IVF Center. I mean, what we do is we expect the clients, that the desiring parents, to come around for consultation. Sometimes IVF is not the only way or the first way. Okay. So what we need to do is to provide the patients on individual basis. Fertility treatment is personalized. It's not one size fits all. So when they come around for consultation, we profile them to ask certain questions about their history, their age, the duration of infertility,
And we run some blood work on them to actually know their ovarian reserve, to know if they are even fit to do the IVF. For example, a woman that is having a big fibroid in the womb may not actually qualify, except the fibroid is getting rid of. So, patients that have some maybe retroviral issues needs to be profiled further to be sure that yes, these people can carry. Genotype 2, an SS client, a woman, is not advisable. In fact, it's more risky to such a woman. No matter how they desire to have their baby, it can be challenging for them. So many, complications can happen after that. So we do all those things, and when the results are ready, we sit them down to discuss it. Their suitability for the process. And if they are suitable, then we commence. So all we do is for people that are qualified to do it, we try to stimulate the woman. And when we stimulate them, we track their eggs because we expect to see multiple eggs. So good eggs, of course. So when we monitor them over a period of time and we try to collect the eggs. Meanwhile, the sperm parameters would have been certified. Okay. Because for the men, the only contributing part for the men is the sperm. Unfortunately, there can be issues with those sperm. Some men don't have sperm at all. They didn't come with any sperm to this world.
Wow.
Really?
For no choice of theirs.
It's not.
Or for no force.
It's not. It's not.
It's not their fault. It's just
how their fault. Yes, it happened from the conception. Their conception. Sometimes some women, when they are pregnant, they take some stuff, alcohol, some medication that will affect. And if it's in the process of formation of testicles, the testes, because it's the testes that produce the sperm and store it until the man is ready to discharge it. So, with such men, when we check them, we won't find any sperm. Some we won't find any sperm, not because they did not produce or they don't produce sperm, but because there's a blockage, in the movement of the sperm from the testicles to the outside. So we have to find out all those things. And some men too, they have sperm cells, but they're very few.
I want to put it. There are very few. Hold on with that. Okay. I want to ask, for those men who don't have sperm, is there possibility of erection? Course. They will have erection.
It doesn't affect men's performance.
Oh my God!
In fact,
you may not know.
You may not know.
Oh wow! My God.
I'm shocked. You may not know. So if the sperm cells are few, it can be boosted. Through supplements, some medications that can encourage the testicles to produce more sperm cells. Of course, for men, they have sperm cells, plenty of them, but all of them are dead. And dead sperms cannot fertilize any egg. So, once we certify the man okay, that the sperm cells are okay, so we collect the sperm from the man as well, the egg from the woman at a specified time, and we send it to our embryology lab, where they process it and they fertilize. And after 5 days, 3 to 5 days, we monitor it on a daily basis and we check the quality of the embryo that is eventually formed. So it is the quality of the embryos now that will determine the one we're going to transfer into the woman. And that's how the process of IVF will be completed. Of course, we support them. That luteal phase, we support it so that there can be implantation of such embryo into the womb. So IVF fails many a times not because there are issues with the IVF facility. No. It's because some women, once you put the embryo there, their body may not receive it. So they have uterine receptivity issues. So the embryo will just go there and come out. So that's exactly the process.
I had another one to do, but let's go. Now, how are eggs retrieved and fertilized during IVF?
Yeah.
Because, sorry, doctor, a friend of mine has gone through this process 3 times, and the third one, she was literally crying. She said, Joy, I don't want to go through it. It's painful. I don't want that experience. I don't want that trauma. So, I don't know anything. I was just encouraging her the little way I can. Sorry, go about it and all of that. How is that process done?
Well, it's a kind of minor surgery, kind of. It's not that painful because it's supposed to be collected under sedation.
Doctor, you're not saying it's not painful.
No, they are not always awake when we are
receiving. Is it the painful? Is it from the process?
I don't
the
know.
Money that they put in?
I don't know.
We need to understand it.
She talks about, she said the
Maybe
process is
doctor
always
will help
painful,
us.
but I don't know.
No, it's not
painful.
The process of collecting the eggs is under sedation. They are made to sleep.
That's why I want
For a few minutes, 10, 15 minutes, we're done. And once it's collected, they relax for some time and they are weak.
And they don't have any outer pain once they are weak or something.
No. It's a simple procedure.
Because that was painful. People who might want to
go through it. Yes, that's why I needed to ask. Yes. Who have phobia for pain.
So the painful aspect is the fact that you go through that process, get the money, go through the process, and at the end of the day, it's not working. I think so, yeah.
I think it's a combination of
of emotions and all.
So that's what the painful is all about. Now, how does IVF works? You talked about how the eggs are retrieved and fertilized. I want to bring the little experience and knowledge I got recently
okay, got it.
into play now. What age can one say, okay, IVF is a no-no for you? And because how long does the IVF process goes before, the fertility comes to, finally, thank God, you are now going to be a mother. Is there any process they need to go through as they go, carry the baby? Is it normal? Is it like the normal, getting pregnant, just process like that? Go to the 9 months and all that. Or they have to be elegant, be fragile, don't go out for too long. Please
be careful,
So we need to understand this. So the benefit of people who are watching at home and they are not, in short, they don't want to come for that consultation because like, I don't know what I'm going to be hearing when I get. So there is an opportunity for them to hear Dr. Hamzat talk about this. So what is the process like? Is there a limit to age when you are retrieving the egg? Then if a lady does not have eggs, which is a probability also, is there a way you can build those eggs, for such person?
Okay, thank you for that lovely question.
Yes.
Actually, from the age of 35, okay, let me say this first. All the eggs a woman will need in her lifetime, she has it from the womb. Before you were born, you have all those eggs.
Wow.
But they will be quiet until the woman is 13. When the menstrual cycle, we have to start. So almost every month, when a woman menstruates and there's no pregnancy, about 20 eggs are wasted. Every single year, every single month. Multiply that in a year, So when people faith it for too long, believing God is going to do it, God will still do it. God is still the one using all these experts to work this thing out. So from the age of 35, the quality and the quantity of the eggs starts slowing down. By the time a woman is 38, 40, it's now rapidly slowing down. Quality, the quantity. So by the time a woman is 40 and above, we are dealing with a very few eggs remaining in them. And that's why we try to explain to our clients that, see, once you're 40, the chance of having enough eggs is already slim. So there could be need for us to boost the remaining ones to have quality ones. Because once the problem with the quality is that once the woman is getting, let me even tell you, women don't age. It's their egg.
That age. Wow.
Yeah. It's the egg. That's why you see the moment a woman enters menopause, all the oily face and all that start going down. That's why all over the world now in China, in America, anti-aging is what people use. Once they get to that level, they want their face to look the same, everything to remain the same. So at that level, we try to give them some medications for some months, 2 months, 3 months, to help them to revive, the quality of their eggs. And there's another thing we call a PRP, it's a method of trying to revive the eggs to come alive again. Even if you are not getting many, you can have golden egg. Golden egg means 1 or 2, but they are quality and they are super. And they result in pregnancy at the end of the day. So that's the age. So women from 35 and above, equality may slow down, but that doesn't mean they will still not produce eggs. They still produce. But until they come around and we check them, because when patient comes, what we first do is ovarian reserve.
What does that mean?
What reserve do you still have?
Do you still have?
Okay.
That tells us, yes, if we stimulate this woman, she's going to respond well. Or if you stimulate, she's not going to respond. Then we now say, okay, what other method can we use to assist such a woman? So, and of course, there's an age limit where IVF is no longer advised. We have our legends, our veterans, in Nigeria, especially in Lagos, that started IVF. They studied abroad and they started it many years ago. They are the one monitoring IVF facilities in Lagos. Lagos State, I can tell you, is the only state in Nigeria that monitor
IVF process.
So much. Through the Ministry of Health, they have health facility monitoring and accreditation agency. They supervise IVF centers. They give you approval before you even start at all. And they're not only looking at your face. They're looking at the equipment, the location of the IVF facility, and the expertise you have. No, the expertise you have.
You have.
We have expertise in Nigeria so much. A lot of people know about it, but the equipments are expensive to set up. So they regulate it very well. And what they said is, once people are 52, stop it. And there are reasons for that. Normally, anybody that's 50 and above can come up with any health challenges. So when you do IVF for people in that age category, and health issues now happens, diabetes, BP, because heart is already getting weakened and all that. So Lagos State don't want to hear someone who wants to deliver and die. No, it's a serious offense in Lagos State. So
wow.
That's it.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the success rates and age, but you've already spoken about that now. But IVF compared to other fertility treatments like the IUCI, what is the IUI? What's the difference and between those two?
Okay, so before I go to that, success rate in Nigeria is high.
It's high.
However, there are some factors that determine the success of IVF. Number one is the age of the woman. It's critical. So if the age is good, below 35 or 35, 36, the success rate is higher, can be as high as 70%.
Wow.
Yeah. But as the age progresses, success rate slows down. It's dropping gradually. So that's it. And in Nigeria, success rate is higher than Europe or America.
Really? So are you now advising, before we know the difference, that once you get to 30 and you're having fertility issues, you should go for options of IVF so that at least you have a quality and a high rate of success, rather than, because I feel most people wait till when they are 40 and above, when they've tried all options, they now say, finally, let me just... So
we need to put it in perspective. Remember, some people are 30, 33, they're still not married at that age.
Yes.
So you don't ask them, go and do IVF. No. What we advise them to do is, come around and let's check you. Let's check your fertility window. Are you still okay? So we check the ovarian reserve. If it's still okay, you can wait for 1 year, 2 years, hoping for the best man to come around.
We are still discussing all you need to know about IVF this morning, and a lot of revelations have been revealed. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. The conversation continues. So, Larry.
Okay, so I want to ask for the advantages and the disadvantages of IVF compared to other options. And also, like I said when the advert was going on, when you have IVF, take, for example, the instance she mentioned about a friend like 3 times. Are there things they are supposed to be doing and not be doing? Like I said, maybe you should lie down in the room, don't go out in the morning, like that. Are there any processes they actually need to do? Because sometimes, we Nigerians, maintenance is our issue. We have that doctor, don't worry, I know what the doctor said. And we still continue. And at the end of the day, this thing fails. So are there anything apart from those disadvantages questions that I asked?
Okay. So, IVF have all the advantages and no disadvantages.
Wow.
All the advantages and no disadvantages.
There's no side effect to it. The only side effect is multiple pregnancies. multiple babies.
Yeah.
Oh,
which is good. I think you mentioned that the last time you came, said some people fail for second, third time, and by the time they finally click, they can come with 5 babies.
I did it 5 times.
Yeah,
you know,
you mentioned
and
that.
it never worked. So, and the more the better. But what people need to do, more importantly, is emotional balance. You see, most families that we see, the husbands are not really very supportive. You know, either because of the financial aspect of things, and they begin to get angry with their wife and all that. So the emotional balance is key. And women, they need to learn how to cope when they're still waiting. That you're waiting does not mean it's not going to happen. It's still going to happen. But you have to be free of stress and be focused. You don't put all your mind there as if that's everything that just have to happen to you in life. No. So the more people do IVF, the better, the higher the success rate for them. All things being equal. So for them, for people to, before they go for IVF procedure, it's always good to go for counseling. They come for counseling, we advise them, just go free your mind, don't quarrel with anybody, just relax your mind, feel happy, be good. Don't put your life on hold because you are looking for baby. It's still going to happen. God is still going to do it. God is still in the business of
answering prayers. So
you should not give up. So after counseling like that, then they need to start taking some medications. Actually, in advanced countries like America, Europe, if you are planning to have a baby, a year before, you need to be on some certain supplements, just to prepare your body and to preserve your eggs and wake them up, let them be balanced, so that you can have a beautiful and handsome babies. So that's what they should do. But a lot of people, they will not take anything. They just want to come. I want to do IVF today. I have my money. And we tell them it's not about money. Keep your money. They're not, don't pressure us. There's procedure. There are certain things that you need to follow. Calm down, be on some medication for 2-3 months, then come back, we check you properly, and we start. And people are getting results. I can tell you.
People are getting results. I love the fact that you mentioned emotional calmness and readiness. Now let's bring in that emotional aspects when we are dealing with IVF. How do couples or partners cope? Especially the man. You said something like some men, they are not supportive when it comes to the money. When the money is not there and the woman is, and then you know this external belief that is because you cannot conceive, you are not like other, you're just taking me through this process. Why? I've had a man tell the wife, why are you not like other women that they'll just give birth, must our own go through this process? Now, a lady or a couple that are going for this, how do they cope with the emotional stress that comes, especially when families are not involved, when they start telling father, mother that I want to go for IVF, you know, all those things. Is it even advisable to talk to someone?
No, like I always advise my clients, it's a personal decision between husband and wife. Not to share with any family. People are not interested in your efforts, but your results.
It's the results.
So, and then your results speak to them. So I always advise them, don't share the news with anybody. Just keep it to yourself. When the tummy start growing, you will see.
Pregnancy, they hide, they gossip himself.
So, men too. Men need to be more mature. A lot of men, the ego in a man is powerful and very dangerous as well. You see, testosterone as a man, even when we have issues, we don't want to hold on easily. We want to, contest it. I don't have any issue. I've impregnated. I've seen men that come to me and say, I've impregnated 3 girls before. But right now, we are showing you your sperm parameters and there's nothing. So how do you defend that to us? So men need to be more humble, more caring, more loving, and more supportive to their spouses. It's very, very important beyond money. What you don't put your mind to, you won't get it.
Sure.
So they have to work together as husband and wife to actually get the result. You need to balance each other's emotions. And they're going to share the news with their family, they are doing this, they are doing that. Because the family is out of emotions. They will start thinking, the money our son is spending on this thing, is he not getting too much? Can't you get a younger wife for him? Which is not necessary. And who even says it's not their son that has problem? Because that's a big one. A lot of people, when we show them and they realize that they don't have anything, it comes with a lot of humility. Then they're like, wow. So I'm actually the problem. So men need to be more matured and care for their wife and protect them. They need to be protective, so that external forces don't come into the marriage
and scatter it for them, mess it up for them.
Now, is there any preparation that couple need to put together for the potential outcome of IVF? Just like something like that. Is there anything they need to prepare them?
Well, whether we like it or not, success in life is 50-50. However, just like we all know, there are certain steps you need to take, to be on the positive 50 side. So IVF too is 50-50 chance, but the chance is higher if people go early and they're able to address the challenges. The woman that has fibroid and is just looking at it, the fibroid will keep growing because it's not like a farm that you cleared but you plant nothing. Weeds and all manner of things will start growing there. So women need to pay attention to their own health as well. If you know that you have fibroid, try and cut on certain things, try and remove the fibroid, and even if you are praying to God needs the fertile gland to work. So that's very important. And for the men too, alcohol destroys sperm a lot. Smoking destroys sperm. And for women too, obesity is an issue for fertility. Because there's an interplay of that with whether a woman is going to be fertile or not. So women need to watch all that. Quite a number of women, when they come around and we check their body mass index and we realize that it's 30. That means they're obese. So we ask them to go and shed weight a bit before coming for the procedure. All this one put together, we encourage the success of the IVF really.
Now, I want us to talk about the costs, because a lot of people that are there will be wondering how to do IVF. What is the cost of doing IVF? Now, what is the cost like when it comes to finances, money? What should people, couple partners, look into? What do they start with? Because I've had people, honestly, anybody that have done IVF is not thousands, it's millions they've done it. So that's why I say when she says it's painful, and I remember how much she told me she did it, first, second, third, in my mind I was just thinking like, some people will just give birth to this child and just throw the child away, Now, what is the cost like, cost effectiveness, like when you're looking at IVF?
Okay, we need to put this in perspective as well. Cost is relative. Depends on who is saying it. A rich man, 50,000 is nothing. But for a poor person, 10,000 is a big deal.
It's a lot.
But you need to understand one thing, that there's nothing in IVF that is cheap. An IVF all over the world is never cheap. Even HMO, they don't cover that. Let me give you an example. In the United States of America, IVF now costs between $35,000 and $45,000. Wow. In UK, it's about £25,000. So, a lot of them are people in diaspora. They come to Nigeria.
They come back here to do it.
They come to Lagos every now and then, because Lagos is recording higher success rate anyway, because electricity is stable now and regulation is super in Lagos. So, it's expensive over there. So when people come from diaspora and they hear that in Nigeria IVF is between 3 million and 5 million naira, would they say it's expensive? No. But because of our own purchasing power here and the economy, it looks expensive. But the truth is, there's nothing we use in IVF that is cheap or that is made in Nigeria, except the expertise. That's the truth.
Except the expertise.
So all these things, when you put it together, but the range changes. Most of the IVF centers in Lagos and Nigeria that I know is between 3 million and 5 million, depending on the situation of individual. Because like I said, IVF is individualized. You don't say because someone spent 5 million, you're going to spend the same. No. Patients have come to me and I tell them, you don't even need IVF in the first instance. So it happens for them. Some people will say, this is what I need. I think one of my friends has done this, but it doesn't really mean. It's not one size fits all. So That's the reason.
And an incident happened. I read something of recent of a woman that came into Nigeria. Apparently, she came to do IVF, and when she was traveling, when she got to the airport, they stopped her because the baby didn't have any trace. And she was like, she brought all the documents, and it was this and now. Let's talk about the gene. Is it possible for a woman to have, you know, an IVF process that the gene is not in any way hers or that of the husband?
Sure. I think I answered part of that earlier in the interview. You see, if a woman does not have eggs now, and a donor egg is used,
okay,
that baby is not going to have any gene concerning the woman. If a baby is born and they didn't use, IVF was done, and they didn't use the sperm of the man, that baby is not going to have the gene of the man. Now, if an IVF is done, and they didn't use the egg or the sperm of both couples, baby is not going to have any of that.
But I mean, the baby is growing in the woman's womb.
Because of our time, doctor, I said I was going to ask this. Because Papa Lukoli will be looking at me, and this lady said she will ask this question. Now, a white sperm. How much of the white sperm do we have in our bank here in Nigeria? Or in Lagos? Let me not say Nigeria. And if one needed a white sperm, is there any possibility one gets it from outside the country to do it here, or there's a referral?
Well, there's nothing that is not possible. There's nothing that is not possible. You have white sperms, you have Indian sperms, you have Chinese sperms and all that. But of course, you have to understand that many of these people, Nigeria is not the destination for most of them to just come and say, okay, let me go and live in Nigeria. No, except for economic reasons. Probably the company has brought them in. But we do have, you know, it has to be arranged. And you can imagine someone coming to Nigeria, anybody coming to Nigeria from abroad as a white person, it's not coming to Nigeria to go and donate sperms. So it has to be on a special appeal. You know, and as for bringing it from outside, yes, they do bring. There are courier companies.
How safe is that?
Very safe. There are courier companies that ship. You know, they ship sperm down, they ship embryo down. You know, because some people must have done IVF abroad and they don't have money for the second procedure, and they say, okay, please let me move it to Nigeria and let me continue my process here because it's cheaper, it's affordable, and I'm more at home. You know, so it happens. Companies like that.
And you were saying something about if such a person is pregnant, they will need to get it's like an adoption or something.
Yeah, I mean, so that one is like an adoption. That's embryo adoption because it doesn't. They didn't use the sperm or the egg of the woman.
Okay.
So it's like they're adopting
an embryo.
An embryo. So someone donated sperm, someone donated egg. So when they get to the airport or wherever at the point of entry, they may want to find out, is this truly a baby? And again, different countries have different laws. The law for Canada is different for the US, for the Australia. So people that are coming to Nigeria to do such things, they need to understand the law.
The laws, immigration.
Bringing the baby. We have seen clients that the wife is a Nigerian, the husband is a white man. The white man has to come to Nigeria to come and give us the sperm for the procedure. So it depends. That's why adequate preparation, visiting a good fertility clinic who understands what they are doing, and they will tell them the truth. Is very important.
It's very important. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Doctor. We've been talking with Dr. Abiodun Hamzat. He is an embryologist, and you know, when you talk about fertility expert, this is the best person you can actually talk to at this point in time. And I hope you've had a wonderful time with Doctor. Thank you so much. We are going to bring Doctor. Just give us like 1 or 2 weeks. We're going to bring him back again so that you can do your phone calls. And myself and Joe will be here live and direct for you to ask as many questions as possible, because I'm sure many of us want to ask questions.
A lot.
So thank you so much for joining us this morning. I still remain Olori. See you tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much. Tomorrow is Friday and we'll be discussing the power of love and sacrifice. Well, yes, it takes a whole lot to love and sacrifice. I am Princess Joy Eyo Abu. I'll see